Okay, this is gonna be one of those serious video guys, so get comfortable, sit down, make some popcorn, whatever you need. We're gonna be talking today about why sign language is so important. Now, there are a lot of reasons why sign language is so important, but for this video, I'm gonna be discussing why sign language has become so important for me personally. A little bit about me for those of you that don't know. I grew up as the only deaf person I knew. My parents were never given any resources about ASL or about deaf culture when they found out that I had a hearing loss. The only things that they were suggested was that I get hearing aids, I use the FM system in school, and I go to speech therapy, which went on for several years of my life, which is why I'm talking in this video right now instead of signing. Now, I'm deaf, I speak, I lip read, and to a lot of hearing people, they often see this as me being a successful deaf person. But if you think about it, successful for who? When hearing people listen to me talk, if they speak English, they can understand me 100%. I speak their language, they don't need a lip read or wear hearing aids, great, they can understand me. But what about when it comes to me understanding them? Every time I have a conversation with somebody, I am only catching about 30, at the most 50% of what is actually being said by lip reading. And I'm a pretty good lip reader. Keep in mind, people, that no lip reader can lip read 100% of an entire conversation. That is just some ridiculous spy myth that's been going around for years. So, when it comes to figuring out the rest of the conversation, that is done by the guesswork, by the filling in the blanks, by the puzzle solving. Basically, me trying to figure out what's being discussed by putting bits and pieces together from the information I received through lip reading, through the context, through somebody's body language and facial expressions. It's a lot of work. However, when it comes to me understanding a conversation 100%, that is like winning money on scratchers at your local liquor stores, guys. That just rarely happens. Nothing! Anyways, earlier this month I had to get a procedure. Fun! Not really. I'm fine now, but I had to get a procedure, so I had to go to the hospital for an appointment. During my previous visit at this hospital, I forgot I filled out a bunch of paperwork where I requested an ASL interpreter. This was the first time I actually had an ASL interpreter with me at the hospital, and it blew my mind. Now, usually before, I never used to request interpreters. I never really knew quite how to request them. I also felt that I might not be able to keep up with them because my ASL isn't as fluent as I want it to be. But since I've been learning ASL and I've been pushing myself to really practice it every day, I actually understood the interpreter. And for the first time in my entire life, I was able to have a real conversation with the doctors and the nurses. A conversation that I could actually understand. After my appointment, I felt both extremely happy and at the same time extremely disgusted. Happy because I finally understood what was going on, what was being discussed. I finally felt included in a conversation. Finally felt a sense of freedom. Disgusted because right then and there I became more aware of how much accessibility I've been missing out on, simply because I didn't learn sign language growing up. If I had the opportunity to learn sign language growing up, I would have been able to make all those important phone calls that I needed to make through the video relay service. I would have been able to request interpreters during all those times I really needed one. And I would have been able to really communicate with others and have real conversations with people. In some ways, English has been like a second language to me. It's a language that I can speak, but a language that I can't understand when it's spoken back to me. However, sign language, ASL to be specific, is a language that I feel like I should have had the opportunity to learn. A language that should have been my primary language. Why? Because it's a language that I can now speak and a language that I can now understand. Now, there's a lot of deaf and hard of hearing people who are just starting to learn sign language later on in their life, like me. And I want to let you guys know to keep pushing yourself. Don't give up. I know it's hard. We didn't have the opportunity to learn sign language when we were younger. Now we're playing years of catch up learning a whole new language and a whole new grammar structure. But to be able to have access to a real conversation, to be able to understand what's going on 100%, trust me, it's worth it. Anyway, that's all for today. Later on in the year, I'm going to be discussing more about why sign language should be taught in school. So to stay updated, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. If you guys want to help me support my content, I'll leave my Ko-fi link somewhere for you guys. And if anybody wants to discuss more about anything, feel free to reach out to me in the comments below. Alright, take care everyone, and I'll see y'all later. Nothing! There goes my dollar.